The Leadership and Legacy of William Maclay All. As of 2001, there have been estimated to be over 450 million people suffering from mental illness. Through the course of time, treatment has increasingly improved, thanks in part to William Maclay All. William All left a legacy of proper treatment and care for the mentally ill through his leadership role in improving conditions for this needy sector of society. William All was born on May 24, 1799, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to the parents of Mary All and Samuel All. As William All grew older and became more of a devout follower of the Presbyterian Church, he shared some of the church's views. After the many victories of the War of 1812, he, like many others, believed that in order to keep receiving blessings from God, they must create a better and more caring society. All decided to pursue this belief by joining in the medical field. He began schooling at the University of Pennsylvania, but instead received his honorary degree from Jefferson Medical College. At first, Dr. All decided to focus his involvement in medical science through surgery. However, after a year, he became very interested in insanity. Thus began William All's legacy of proper treatment and care for the mentally ill. Dr. All then moved to Lancaster, Ohio, to start his new practice in 1825. In 1833, 8 years later, he moved to Columbus, Ohio, and accepted a job as a physician at the Ohio Penitentiary. In 1835, 2 years later, the Ohio Medical Association was created. The leading person in creating this association was Dr. All. The initial purpose of creating the Ohio Medical Association was to build a hospital for the mentally ill as well as a school for the blind, which were both achieved. In 1837, 2 years after the founding of the Ohio Medical Association, William All convinced the legislature to build the Ohio Lunatic Asylum. Before the Ohio Lunatic Asylum, family members would send their mentally ill loved ones to either jail or the Ohio Penitentiary in hopes that they would not hurt themselves. Dr. All, however, believed that mental illness was treatable. Since payment was not a criterion, 328 patients were housed at the Ohio Lunatic Asylum by 1850. However, in the year of 1868, the asylum burned down. The casualties included the death of 6 patients. This, however, was not the end of the asylum's legacy. The asylum was rebuilt at a different location and housed more than 1,000 patients by 1900. Overall, because of William All's leadership, there have been over 35,000 mentally ill patients treated in Ohio since the founding of the Ohio Lunatic Asylum. Even though Ohio does not operate asylums anymore, as a result of William All's idea and reality of creating a place to help the mentally ill, All created a better life and treatments, not only for his own patients, but for those inflicted with mental illness in years to come. Even though Dr. All resigned his post as director of the Ohio Lunatic Asylum in 1850, he still played a major part in the lives of the mentally ill. One of his off-scene roles was his contribution to the Association of Medical Superintendents of American Institutions for the Insane. This organization held their first convention on October 16th of 1844. Dr. Samuel B. Woodward was named the president of the association, while Samuel White was named vice president. However, before the second convention, Samuel White died, and the vice president position was filled by Dr. All. By the Third Convention in 1848, S.B. Woodward had resigned, leaving William All to assume the position of president of the association. During Dr. All's time as president, All and the other members of the organization discussed topics such as treatment, management, and patient accommodations for the insane. As president of the association, All continued to provide leadership in areas of comfort, welfare, and new ways of treatment for the mentally ill until his resignation in 1951. After Dr. All resigned his post of president of the Association of Medical Superintendents of American Institutions for the Insane, he then became a teacher at the School for the Blind until his death on November 19th of 1876. The legacy of William Maclay All is significant in our history because he was an ardent advocate for the mentally ill who were powerless to help themselves. Through his leadership and passion, he was able to help change the course of care for the mentally ill at a time when few options were available. Though many people do not know who William All is today, the legacy of such a man who devoted much of his life's work to such a noble cause should never be forgotten.